I'm a British female. I love this country and I give this country. Now you're calling me a problem. I don't think I am. I think you are. Second point is...
What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Nanefia Scholars. Today we are back again with another video from Douglas Murray. So today Douglas Murray leaves young Muslim speechless on free speech. Okay, so guys, without further ado, let's get started.
I'm a British female. I love this country and I give this country. Now you're calling me a problem. I don't think I am. I think you are. Second point is, as a Muslim female, okay, my parents might not...
But do not mix up somebody, a thug, a racist, and so on, attacking somebody in the street with the right of Fleming and me to say what we see in the Quran, what we think of Muhammad, and maybe even asserting our right to say so.
Okay, all right, now...
You are about to see Douglas Murray tell the truth as it is. Douglas Murray breaks the silence on immigration and speaks what is on everyone's mind. In the following clip, Douglas Murray educates a young Muslim student. Douglas Murray did not hold back.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Tariq says that Europeans associate Islam with violence. There is some truth in that. There is also a very obvious reason for that, which is that Islam is associated with violence. It was not Buddhists who flew planes into the Twin Towers. It was not Hindus or Jews that blew up the London Underground in buses a few years ago. And that simple fact has to be acknowledged if you're even going to start a dialogue. Now, what is happening, ladies and gentlemen, it's not a pantomime. I'd argue that Europe has done not too badly, considering the circumstances. In the middle of the last century, there was an almost negligible Muslim presence in Europe. At the turn of the 21st, in Western Europe alone, there were 15 to 17 million Muslims. That's a very fast migration, ladies and gentlemen, one of the fastest in human history. And no society would find it easy to deal with that kind of migration. As it happens, European societies, Western European societies have, I think, dealt with this much better than some would. Certainly, Muslims coming to live in Britain and in Western Europe enjoy more rights and better rights, among them freedom of worship, than they do in any Islamic country in the earth here today. We do have a problem. We have a problem when the failures of Islam throughout the world, the failures of all Islamic societies, come here into Britain. Their intolerance of freedom of conscience, their intolerance of apostates, their intolerance of freedom of expression and freedom of speech, their intolerance of minorities, other religious minorities, sexual minorities, their intolerance of gays, their dislike and distrust of half of the population, women, and many, many other things. And the call, what's more, for a parallel legal system within Britain and European societies. This is monstrous. No other group behaves like this, asks for parallel laws. This is a fundamental problem, and it's one we're going to have to deal with. It's a problem between a society, Western Europe, that believes that laws are based on reason, and Islam that believes that they are based on revelation. Between these two ideas, I'm not sure there is very much compromise for Europe. It is not Europe that has let down its Muslims, but the Muslims of Europe that have let down Europe. This is not solely something which we have to say we can never reconcile. Of course we can reconcile this, but we need to be honest about it. We need to be frank about it, and we cannot avoid things just because they are unpleasant. And if there were one thing I would wish Muslims in Europe could learn today, as fast as possible, it would be this: that you have no right in this society not to be offended. You have no right to say that because you don't like something you can commit violence, or you would like something to be stopped or censored. You have no right to have more hate laws or hate crime laws or hate speech laws just to defend Islam. You have to realize, the Muslims of Europe have to realize, that a society in which even your deepest feelings can be trodden upon is the only society worth living in. And the sooner we can learn that, the sooner that Islam can learn that within Europe, the better. It is not Europe that has failed its Muslims. It is Islam that has failed Europe. I'd argue Islam has failed its Muslims. Thank you.
Douglas Murray brings attention to the rapid and unprecedented migration of Muslims into Europe, a phenomenon that no society can easily absorb in a short period. This mass migration is one of the fastest in human history, and it's understandable that it would bring significant challenges. Despite these challenges, European societies have made commendable efforts to accommodate these new arrivals, providing them with rights and freedoms that are often lacking in their countries of origin. Europe's approach to integration has been notably generous. For example, countries like Germany and Sweden have welcomed large numbers of refugees, offering them housing, education, and healthcare. This level of support is a testament to Europe's commitment to human rights and dignity. In contrast, many Islamic countries, even wealthy ones, have been less willing to take in refugees, highlighting a stark difference in approaches. However, integration is not a one-way street. While European societies strive to be inclusive and supportive, it's equally important for Muslim communities to adapt to the values and norms of their new homes. This means embracing core Western principles such as freedom of expression, gender equality, and secular laws. These values are fundamental to European society and are essential for maintaining social cohesion and harmony. Statistics support Murray's concerns about integration. For instance, studies have shown that second-generation immigrants in Europe often experience higher unemployment rates and face greater challenges in education compared to their native counterparts. This indicates that integration efforts need to be more robust and that immigrant communities must engage more actively in the process.
Young lady here with the headscarf, and then we'll come to our panel.
I'm a British female. I love this country and I give this country. Now you're calling me a problem. I don't think I am. I think you are. Second point is, as a Muslim female, okay, my parents might not let me go somewhere late at night because people are racist to me. They tell me to go back home and they hurt me. I got hit by 2 white guys and they laughed at me because I'm a scarfy, okay? Last point is to Mr. Fleming, about the point where you said about the religion, changing religion. Every person has the right to. No one says anything about that. But if you had a daughter or a son that wanted to become a Muslim, would you be happy about that? I don't think so.
Douglas, I want to ask you, you heard some of the people from the floor there, the woman complaining about attacks on her because she's described as a scarfie because she wears a head veil. I mean, that is something that you would regret. I mean, that doesn't promote social cohesion, does it?
Nobody thinks that any physical attacks or any such thing could be a good thing to happen. Of course not. Of course there are. Let's make sure we're right.
She's talking about prejudice
exists in society. Let's just be absolutely clear, this is an audience. Prejudice undoubtedly exists in this society. It exists across racial groups, including from minorities to other minorities, after all, which is one of the things we see increasingly in Britain these days. And it is also the case that people, in particularly famously lower socioeconomic groups, are likely to feel hatred for other groups. That is one of the things that has to be tackled, and everyone, I think, in this hall, I'm sure, we're in agreement that that should be tackled. But do not mix up somebody, a thug, a racist, and so on, attacking somebody in a street with the right of Fleming and me to say what we see in the Quran, what we think of Muhammad, and maybe even asserting our right to say so.
Okay, all right, now...
I completely agree with Douglas Murray on this one. Freedom of speech is the cornerstone of Western civilization. It allows people to express their ideas, challenge prevailing norms, and foster innovation and progress. However, this freedom also means that people will inevitably encounter opinions and expressions that they find offensive. The appropriate response is not to demand censorship or special protections, but to engage in dialogue and debate. A notable example of the clash over free speech involves the publication of cartoons depicting the Prophet Muhammad. These cartoons, first published in a Danish newspaper in 2005, sparked global protests and debates about the limits of free speech. While many in the Muslim community found the cartoons deeply offensive, the broader Western response emphasized the importance of protecting the right to free expression, even when it is controversial or provocative. Statistics show that societies that uphold freedom of speech tend to be more innovative and economically prosperous. According to the World Economic Forum, countries with strong protections for free speech, such as the United States and those in Western Europe, often rank higher in global innovation indices. This correlation underscores the value of maintaining a culture where ideas can be freely exchanged. Prominent figures have supported Murray's stance. For instance, Salman Rushdie, who faced death threats over his book, The Satanic Verses, has consistently argued for the importance of free speech. Rushdie contends that giving in to demands for censorship only emboldens those who seek to suppress dissenting voices. He emphasizes that a free society must stand firm in defending the right to critique and question all beliefs, including religious ones.
Wow, this is actually beautiful to watch, honestly. It's good. I always say it's good to know opinions from people. I really enjoyed watching this, honestly. And the lady has a point. First of all, let me acknowledge this. I mean, verbally attacking people because of how they look, because of their religion, because of how they dress is a no-no. Like, it's offensive, you know. I don't know how we have to encourage this, but we do not have to encourage this. Like, it's a no-no. Like, attack, because I really know people that actually get attacked or get laughed at or get mocked because they wear their hijabs. I always say hijabs is sexy. I don't know how you find it, but for me, being a scarfy girl is something that I love. So I don't know why people need to be attacked when for who they are or for what they actually wear, what they actually put on. That one I would say a no. And secondly, I would say I totally agree with Douglas Murray, you know. People actually migrate. Migrations happens everywhere, especially when you go to the US and the Western Europes, like the Western worlds, like the Europes where the civilizations are, you know. Let's just be frank here. US, the Western Europe's like civilization is there, like the civilization there, opportunities there are so much that people actually migrate day in and day out. Like basically every day people are actually migrating. And I would say if you go to Rome, do what Romans do. Because if even a US or any person visits Muslim countries, Iran and those other countries, they expect you to to follow their rules, you know. They expect you to do what they do. So the same thing applies to you. You guys are not exceptional. If you're a Muslim or you are any, like it applies to anybody, any religion. You travel from your country to other country, you need to accept their rules and regulations, their norm, you know. That rules and regulation norms makes a country, you know. You need to understand that Western Europe's, America, US, no, those people, they, I mean, those countries, they really, I mean, encourage free speaking, you know. They speak their mind, they do all sorts of things, they wear what they want to wear, they do all sorts of things. So I think if you are being in, if you have been, if you migrate or you travel from your country to this type of country, you need to understand their culture, you need to understand their rules, you need to, you know, just do you, you know. And he she said, and according to Douglas Moran, it's not coming from me. You know, Muslims says the Muslims are saying Europe has failed them. It's deprived them of their culture. You know, yes, it's good. No one is, I'm not sure in Europe they've banned Islamic worship. You can, I'm not sure, you can worship whatever you want to worship at any cost. You know, Christianity is there, Islamic is there, Buddhism, whatever worship you fancy, you can worship. Because as well, I understand that that place is like a free movement, you know. Free, you have the right to worship whatever you want to worship, have the right to, you know, do whatever you want to do. So, and therefore I'm not sure they ban Islamic religion over there. So if you're there, just do what you have to do, just that don't go against, you know, free marriage, free speech, you know. They don't force you, because I'm sure, and the rate at which even the Western world accepts refugees, accepts migrant immigrants and those things, I'm not sure if you go to some parts of the Muslim or Islamic countries, they will accept refugees, or they will accept, like they will accept how people, they will accept people to travel into their country like that, compared to how, I mean, the European countries are being like, you know, a country free that people actually travel there basically every time. So just accept the fact that their regulations are different, they have their own rules. So I don't think, no one is failing anybody. So for us, you are doing you. So for us, you're just going by the rules, you know. Let me say, Africa, this country, we are not a fan. Like, Africa is a country that we don't really accept this LGBTQ, whatever, you know, how the trends, what is actually trending now in the world. Africa is a country, and I know some Islamic countries do not also accept those kind of yeah. So if you come here and if you're a foreigner, you come here and you are being arrested, don't think the country failed you. No, you have to, no one is above the law. You have to understand our rules, understand our regulations, and know our culture, and you follow through. Maybe in your country there is no free speech for women, there is no free speech for, I mean, kids, or maybe in your country you don't listen to certain music, or in your country you don't speak about certain things, or you don't exhibit certain cultures. That doesn't mean if you come to Europe, you can be in your own home, your family, and still abide by your rules, but don't bring it to the like, don't expect the whole country to have your culture, or to go about by your rules. You know, the fact that we don't publish satanic books or this in your country, that's no, you are in a whole different country. You need to understand their culture. You need to understand, I mean, you know, the environment you are, the environment you find yourself, so that you can cope well. You don't have to say British has failed you because British is not, I mean, coping with, or British is not, does not the rules and regulations of British, or the rules and regulations in Europe doesn't match your culture, so they failed you. No, no, it doesn't. And it doesn't mean as if you see someone who doesn't match with your culture, you have to mock the person. No, because I don't know that the reason that you have to mock a woman or a Muslim with scarf. You know, Muslim bodies, they wear scarf, they wear hijab, and that's who they are. So far as they're in your country, you don't expect them to unscarf their body. That is them. I think this one was really a good one. I mean, from the perspective of Douglas Murray, you need to, I mean, oh God. From the perspective of Douglas Murray, he really has a point, and I really understand what our lady here is also going through. I mean, we should just, if you migrate from your country to another country, you need to know their rules and regulations. You need to know so that you can cope well, you know. So Muslim is not failing, Europe is not failing anybody. If you, I think probably then Islam is failing your people. I mean, I really enjoyed watching this. I mean, Douglas Murray is smart, intelligent, and I love how he really went about it, about everything respectfully. And I hope the lady really got her understanding that she needs or deserves. Let me know what you think about this video. I will end by saying salam alaikum. It's assalamu alaikum, okay, to everyone and every Muslim out there. And let me know what you actually think about this. If you really did enjoy this with me, don't forget to give your girl a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel too, welcome. Don't forget to click on the subscription button for more notifications. Thanks for watching.